The newest CleanMyMac feature from MacPaw, Cloud Cleanup. This is MacVoices. Today's edition of MacVoices is supported by the MacVoices Dispatch, our weekly newsletter that keeps you up with everything MacVoices is doing. From our published episodes to Chuck's other appearances to special events and more, subscribe at macvoices.com/newsletter and stay fully informed so you don't miss a thing. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the Talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, I am really excited to have back representatives from MacPaw for the second time in recent memory. This is a different team talking about a different product or a different aspect of their product. So I'd like to welcome Ramon and Sasha to MacVoices for the very first time. Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for
asking to join.
Yeah. We have a little bit of a delay going here because do I have this right?
No,
are you both
no.
in Kyiv?
We are in different places of the world. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, well, that introduces some fun challenges to us. What we're going to talk about, though, is a new feature in CleanMyMac called Cloud Cleanup. Maybe you can guess what that is, but I'm going to and I'm not sure who wants to take this, but let's get a quick introduction to Cloud Cleanup. What is it, and is it available now?
I can start actually. Actually nowadays we know that clouds just occupy the substantial part of our digital life. So we are not only working on the Mac just with a local drive, we're always working with the cloud services, with the cloud providers, and even with different cloud providers at one time. Cloud Cleanup in the feature, it's a natural continuation of the CleanMyMac philosophy to keep your space where you work, where you live, where you do your stuff on the Mac, to keep this world organized and tidy and clean, right? So that's why we expand the CleanMyMac into the cleanup feature, cloud cleanup feature, which is about cleaning and keeping your cloud organized.
So that brings up a lot of questions as far as how you are interacting with my cloud services. Am I giving you access to those cloud services, or are you doing it through the normal of APIs that a cloud service utilizes for my Mac? And I'm thinking about something like iCloud, which has its own sort of management philosophy for the way that it interacts with the files on my machine versus the files in the cloud.
Yeah, it's a really cool question, actually. Let me step back a bit about the CleanMyMac at all. So the CleanMyMac works totally on your device and uses native macOS mechanisms to operate and optimize your macOS, right? And we are approved by Apple, right? So and here, when we thought about what we can do with these clouds, we didn't want to go over this philosophy. We want to stay in this philosophy for the clouds cleanup as well. That's why we were searching for the solution that allow us to create this feature using the native macOS mechanisms, which is actually macOS iCloud SDK, which we are using for this feature. So going back to your question about the accesses, so we implemented for the first release following cloud providers like iCloud, Google Drive, and OneDrive. And this choice is not was not like easy choice, but it was driven by this philosophy of the native support of the macOS SDKs. So in CleanMyMac, in the current implementation, we don't have any access to your login information. That's all handled in the iCloud case by the macOS. So you just sign in your account in macOS. And if you have iCloud service in this account, we'll be able to connect to this account. And for the Google Drive and OneDrive, you should have their official application up and running on your PC. You need to sign in into this application. And then we also, automatically, we have access to your cloud files.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, you are not necessarily, well, you are reaching through my Mac, through my login to the files on the clouds.
More or less. So when you're using actually for a cloud, for example, when you sign in into your iCloud account on your Mac, specific items are created on your local drive. They are called ubiquitous items. So it could be the files on your local drive, like classic files, but they could be like aliases to your files on your drive. So it's part of the implementation of iCloud files for the macOS. And the same approach is used for the Google Drive and for OneDrive. But for the Google Drive or OneDrive, you need to have the specific application running on your PC and have it up and running and sign it into your account.
Okay, got it. And I'm obviously wanting to make sure that we all understand this, because security and privacy are such hot topics right now. And MacPaw and CleanMyMac have a fantastic reputation of respecting my privacy and everything that I want to keep to myself. And so I want to make sure that's what's happening here with Cloud Cleanup, and it sounds like it is.
Yeah, definitely. So from the security perspective, we totally work on on your drive, nothing like send everywhere, so anywhere to the backend. So we totally work on the device, and all the authorization happens on on the cloud service provider side or on the macOS side in the case of a cloud. So CleanMyMac even doesn't have access to your like authorization credentials. It just works using the native macOS APIs to work with the cloud files.
Understand. Okay. So now we know what it does, or now we know how it does it. Now, what does it do? When we talk about Cloud Cleanup, is it managing things on the cloud, especially with OneDrive? And well, yeah, let's just go with OneDrive. OneDrive, I can have things on the cloud. I can have them locally on my Mac. What exactly will Cloud Cleanup do for me?
Actually, there are two use cases we wanted to implement for our users, and Sasha will talk about this from the perspective, I think, UX experience and how we try to make it as easy as possible. I just outline what is it. So the first use case. So what is a CleanMyMac? CleanMyMac is about cleaning space on your Mac, about keeping your Mac organized. So, and we also thought in that philosophy that we want, first of all, clean space on your Mac. So, and the first use case is use case for unsyncing the file that you have on your local storage on your Mac, and at the same time you have these files on your drive. But for some reason you run out of space in your Mac, and you want to like offload this file to the cloud. It's a totally safe operation. You're not deleting anything. You keep these files, but you just easily unsync these files to the cloud and freeing up space on your local drive. That's the first use case. When you just go into the interface, review what you want to unsync, and just click one button and unsync a ton of gigabytes if you have synced a lot files to your cloud and freeing up the space locally. Another use case is about the cleaning actually cloud files, so cleaning on the cloud and on device if the file is synchronized with the cloud. It's about like freeing up space on the cloud, helping you keep it organized. Maybe, if, for example, you discover that you have stored a ton of the old iPhone backups on your cloud and you really don't need these backups anymore, you can just delete it and maybe downgrade your price tier for the cloud provider, for example.
So it's doing something similar to what CleanMyMac does for my Mac. It's just doing it for those files that are in the cloud systems, if you will, that are accessible through my Mac.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. From user perspective, I would like to add that we are using already existed tools in CleanMyMac like SpaceLens and view of data manager that we are using in large and all files. So we combine this into one tool for cloud, and user can navigate through the SpaceLens view in their cloud and through the data manager to find just old files or large files that laid there for years maybe. So this is how it works.
Come on, Sasha. None of us have those files out there that we've forgotten about, and they just lay there, right?
Yeah.
Taking up space. So, Sasha, take me through it. In other words, again, I have to compare this to CleanMyMac because that's the program I know. And one of the great things about CleanMyMac is that it doesn't do anything that it doesn't tell me about first. Is that true with Cloud Cleanup as well?
We are suggesting things to do, but we are not doing it without users. So our users should review files before deleting this. And we are adding one more step to review this before deleting, just for as SpaceLens works now. So it's more user files and they could be sensitive. It's not just a junk. So
yeah, and that's, again, because once things are deleted, they're deleted. And now if you're deleting them off the cloud service, they're really deleted. There's not there are not a lot of ways to get things back like that. So Cloud Cleanup shows me what it's about to do, and you're saying it then asks me to confirm that I really want to do that before it actually does it.
Exactly, yeah.
Where did this come from? I mean, it seems like such a natural extension of what CleanMyMac does that I'm surprised that it's taken this long to have it implemented. But I know there are also a lot of features that your users ask for. Is this something that is sort of in there by popular demand?
Yeah, it's kind of tricky question because actually we had an idea about this feature like years back, and all the time there were some obstacles that didn't allow us to go forward with this feature. But now half a year back, all the pieces come together, and we decided to go with this feature, and voila, it's appeared, right? So, but you're totally right. It's natural extension of CleanMyMac.
Yeah. I just wanted to add that we reviewed that cloud became more and more popular last years, and it became more and more expensive. So we can help users to decrease the price of the cloud. So why not to help?
So, Roman, from what you just said, you said all the pieces came together. Were there changes, and we're getting a little geeky here, and I don't want you to reveal anything proprietary, but were there changes in the OS that made some of this now possible? Or is it the APIs from the different cloud providers that made it possible?
Kind of, actually. So the years back when we also reviewed this feature, we saw that majority of the cloud providers are not using native macOS APIs for managing the cloud files, like I said early in my speech. So, but now we saw that more and more providers are switching to the macOS native implementation, like Google Drive and OneDrive. And that's why the choice for the first release was OneDrive, Google Drive, and iCloud. Yeah, so I think from the technical perspective, that's the main reason, main maybe enabler that it becomes like native. The cloud providers start implementing native macOS abilities, right? And we we actually able to give the user seamless UX experience using this native integrations. It was like a very important for us to keep like CleanMyMac like still to keep users feel the cloud functionality like anything else in CleanMyMac working locally. So that's why we were so sticky to the native implementation of macOS features.
Sasha, from the UX UIX perspective, how much different is this going to be from something I've already experienced with CleanMyMac, or is it very similar? And or does working on cloud files present a new challenge for making that kind of representation easy?
We did our best to make it as simple as it is in other modules. But of course, it has some challenges because clouds, to be honest, are not very simple. They are, on the first point, they are hard to understand even because they have cloud files and locally synced files on the same time. And this is the same account and this is the same interface. So in the design team, we had a challenge how to make it easy to understand. And we had a lot of iterations how to make it really clear. But as I mentioned before, we tried to use already existed tools, but it mostly works from the same as the same layout when we have tiles with the recommendations, where we have like a inside view of file management. So I hope it would be easy for our users.
Okay. You've mentioned the fact that it works with iCloud, Google Drive, and OneDrive. I have to ask because it's the other big one in the room, and that's Dropbox. Is Dropbox not? But it sounds like it's not supported right now. Is it possible to have it be supported in the future?
Actually, to be frankly, we expected this question. So definitely we consider Dropbox because it is a major player. It's like the oldest player on the public file cloud services, right? And we consider Dropbox, but unfortunately, Dropbox, due to maybe their age, they did not implement this macOS native support for the cloud files. They have their own system. How do they work with the cloud files on the Mac? That's why we postponed Dropbox integration for later releases.
It's really interesting because as you said, Dropbox was the first. And I think a lot of us, including me, got sort of used to, okay, this is how a cloud service works or should work. And then iCloud came along, Google Drive came along, OneDrive came along, and they each have their own little idiosyncrasies and ways of doing things that, you know, at some point you get used to them. But I still remember, you know, testing out some of those and thinking, well, this isn't like Dropbox. Why isn't it? So it's interesting to hear that some of the behind the scenes mechanics of it don't play quite as well in the modern world as you would like it to.
Yeah, actually, it's a typical situation for the technological industries who enter first. Like they did a lot of investments into the development, and they don't want to switch to some new technologies that appear later on, right? So they want to use the investments as long as possible. So we actually see this everywhere around the world. For example, in telecommunication, like in US, I know that there are a lot of ADSL lines or something like that, not very speedy lines still, but in, for example, Africa or other emergency markets, internet quality is much higher, right? So yeah, it's the same problem with the Dropbox, I think. But it doesn't mean we are not going to add it, right? So we just postpone it for the later releases.
It's, you know, Ramon, you said a mouthful there, because I think a lot of us see it in corporate America as well, that someone has an old PC sitting on their desk and they say, well, that's good enough. You know, that still works. And they don't realize not only the safety and security aspects of it, but just the performance aspects, because they haven't seen it yet. And so, you know, they are hesitant to invest in newer technology. So it's interesting to hear that also applies to the cloud services, and especially, and we're not picking on Dropbox. It's just a completely natural thing.
Definitely, yeah.
Sasha, where is Cloud Cleanup? Is it part of CleanMyMac? Is it integrated in with CleanMyMac, or is it a separate application?
It's a part of CleanMyMac, for sure. It's in the left menu, and you easily can find there.
Is it part of when I run the basic general is my Mac healthy kind of run of CleanMyMac? Does it include a report that comes from Cloud Cleanup as well?
Not sure about the question, but if I understood it correct, when you launch the app, so you can navigate through the different functions like junk cleanup, like applications management, and the same, we have a cloud cleanup tool, and you can scan, then have the results of scan, and after that can decide which files they are too large or too old to delete from that or unsync from the Mac. So this is how it works. And for now, it's not included in smart care, but maybe in future. Yeah.
Okay. I love the idea of being able to see all of my cloud files from all the services sort of under one umbrella, so that I can decide what I have stored where, and especially how much space is it taking up, because that's something that is not always clear with the APIs that the cloud services give you. And so the Mac reports it as one thing, but it's really taking up a lot more space than that, or vice versa. So hopefully this is something that will make it a lot clearer for everyone as to just how much space all those old files are taking up. What else haven't we talked about, guys? What features are coming, or what else should we know about Cloud Cleanup?
Yeah, let me take this one. So as I said previously, we have specific options to connect your clouds currently. So for the iCloud, that's the only options. You just need to log into your Apple account, and iCloud will be able to connect in the CleanMyMac. For the Google Drive and OneDrive, we have native options to connect to cloud files if you have up and running the cloud service application, Google Drive application on your Mac or OneDrive application on your Mac. But we anticipate that not every user of the CleanMyMac wants to have like this Google Drive application running or OneDrive application running on their Mac, or synchronize all your accounts in this application. That's why we are working on another authorization flow, which is not that seamless and native like the previous one. It's a typical web OAuth flow where you just need you open CleanMyMac, you want to connect, for example, to Google Drive, you pick the option you want to connect through the web, and then you redirect it to the Google page, you enter your credentials, and then Google will redirect back you to us, and then we can work with your cloud. So it's just one more option to connect CleanMyMac with the cloud. And the same will be with OneDrive.
But I like the idea that I have the choice, or will have the choice as when this is implemented, that if I want to have the applications running, great. If I want to give you authorization to work directly on the cloud files, that's great too. So do I have that correct? Is that the way it would work?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah, it's your choice how to, how you want the CleanMyMac to connect to your cloud.
Yeah, that seems very MacPaw-like, that you would give me the choice to do it the way I want to do it, instead of you saying you have to do it this way.
Yeah.
So the website, of course, is MacPaw or CleanMyMac.com, whichever one you want to go to, and you will get there and find out more about cloud cleanup as well as everything else that CleanMyMac does for you. Guys, thank you. This was very, very interesting, and it's a great new feature. I'm looking forward to testing it out because I know that I have some of those old files that Sasha mentioned that are just sitting there, and I just either don't know or have forgotten about them, so I can get rid of them.
We would be glad to be useful. Yep.
Yeah. Definitely. Actually, it's the first release. We are looking for the user's feedback, for the user requests, what the user wants us to add, because we really think that it's quite a potential powerful feature that will allow users to have everything in one place, all the clouds in one place, and the same interface that will be applied to each cloud provider, which actually fabulous. So you don't need to learn each interface of each cloud provider. You will have only one entry point, CleanMyMac, to manage your cloud, to find old files, or even just find some data you need to find, right?
If folks want to give feedback on this feature or what they'd like to see in the future, what's the best way for them to do that?
Customer support?
We have
I don't know.
Yeah, customer support, and in CleanMyMac, we have also possibility to write feedbacks on the top top left menu. You could click help and share feedback with us. That's the better way to do that. Or just write in our social media, in Twitter or Instagram, whatever,
So you accept feedback any way they can find you, is what you're saying.
Yeah, definitely.
Guys, thank you. This is really interesting. I appreciate it. I did want to give each of you, if you have social media presences that you would like to put out there of your own, please, any way that folks can connect with you personally or directly if you're interested in doing that.
Yeah, if one connect to in LinkedIn on the Roman Kaplun, so I will be happy to friend with you and answer your questions if you have.
Yep. Same. My channel. No. My channel is main channel in business is LinkedIn as well. So you can find me there as Sasha Kravchuk. So I would be glad to connect.
Wonderful. So, everyone, go out there and connect with these two, and tell them what you think of Cloud Cleanup, because they've been working hard on it. And guys, I think we all really appreciate everything you and the whole MacPaw team do for us. So, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much
for
so much, Chan. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great to meet you both. I hope this isn't the last time.
Sure.
Hope to. See you.
Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices. We've talked to MacPaw a number of times, and every time we do, we meet new friends because they are such great people, and as you can tell, they care a lot about what they do. So test their stuff out, give them the feedback that'll help them make it better for us. Until the next time, and as always, thanks for watching.
Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you MacVoices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.